Zach, you guys obviously started that game, so well, and then to finish it in the second half. What did you feel like the difference was from the first half to the second half?
Pace of play. They made a little adjustment to try to slow our pace down. They switched 1 through 5. But the biggest thing is, we fouled too much and we gave up a lot of offensive rebounds, in my opinion. With that big of a lead, even going into the fourth, you got to close those games out. So that one hurts.
They outscored you guys 24-8, I think, on points in the paint in the third quarter. Was there a reason for that?
Shoot, we obviously don't want to give up points in the paint. They came out strong in the third quarter, and I think that was our point of emphasis, and we just didn't even respond to it. So we got to be able to do a better job with that, especially when you have a team down by that much at halftime. Those first 5 minutes are crucial, and that's where you can either let them back in the game or put it away, and obviously we gifted them that.
The ball's kind of jumping around, it felt like, in the first half. Good movement, good flow. Seemed to maybe get a little stale there in the second half. Anything you can pinpoint to that you think might have caused that, or just?
Yeah, I said earlier, they started switching 1 through 5 and around the perimeter. And in transition, if you're not getting any stops, which we weren't doing in the third, you're not going to get easy baskets. You're taking the ball at the net, letting them set their defense. I think in the first half, we did a lot of good jobs of pretty much just running them and getting easy baskets in transition, opening up the floor. It's a tale of two halves.
How much does it sting to, you guys are trying to overcome the absence of a couple of guys and again to play so well early and kind of let it slip later on? Does it kind of sting a little bit more in that regard?
Yeah, especially with the way we came out. Obviously, you got to play the games. People are going to get hurt, and no one wants to miss, games, especially I know how bad Domas and Keegan want to play, but it just, it shows that how you got to be able to adjust to different things. Hopefully those guys will be back, soon, at least Domas, and then, start going from there, but, reevaluate.
Neek, getting a start in his NBA debut, and I know you guys have had a lot of confidence and shown your support for him. Just what's it like to see him get that opportunity?
Yeah, not a lot of people get that opportunity. I didn't play my first 3 games in the NBA, so I told him, I said, man, enjoy this. Him, Dylan, Maxine, all those guys, for your first game to go in there and play a role and play minutes, it's unique, and I'm happy that they're able to experience that. Wish it came with a win.
Yeah, real quick, just obviously with Domas being out, you guys are at a loss on the boards. Not knowing how long he's going to be out, what is some creative solutions for kind of trying to take up a little bit of the slack on that end?
We're starting 4 guards, so obviously you got to do the best you can, but if you're starting 4 guards, you got to understand we got to be able to cause turnovers, because those offensive rebounds are going to kill us. I don't expect us to get a lot, but we needed to get more than we did tonight. So that definitely has to get cleaned up. I had 2, so I got to do a better job with that.
Malik, what's your assessment of kind of how things went there, first half versus second half?
First half we did on a game plan. Second half we just did what we did last year. Started off sloppy in the third quarter, and let them back in it, and had to fight from back. It's easy fixes though. It's all on us.
Elaborate on that part of it. What are the easy fixes?
They can't have 30-some second chance points, 28. The rebound count was terrible. And that's all on us though. We knew they was gonna crash. We knew they was crashing. We knew it was shooting threes. We knew the rebounds was gonna be long. It's all on us.
With Domas and Keegan out, there's obviously a lack of depth in the front court. I think they went 24-8 on you guys on points in the paint in the third quarter. Is that just kind of a life you guys are going to have to adjust to right now? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, somebody got to step up and go get some rebounds. We can't be leaking out. I'll go get some more, especially I think I was leaking out a little bit too much today. It won't happen again, though.
Well, and free throws as well in a close game like this to leave, I think, 10 on the board. That's not something that has been an issue for you guys in the past, so that kind of fall under your category of easy fix on us?
Yeah, we make free throws, yeah, definitely. And we can't give up. We can't foul jump shooters at the end of the game, especially not Dylan for a 3. So, yeah.
Neek got to start in his NBA debut tonight. just what are your thoughts on the way he's looked and the confidence that the team has shown?
Oh yeah, we're gonna need him at some point. He's been great. He always want to learn, always asking questions. So yeah, he's been great for us. Got to be a little bit more aggressive, but we'll talk to him about it.
What more do you want to see in terms of his aggressiveness?
Shoot the ball. He got to shoot a little more. At least 3 shots. First game, got to get him out.
You saying someone has to shoot one?
Got to
No.
get him out. Got to get him out.
The first half, the offense kind of seemed to be flowing. It got a little stale there in the second half. Zach was just kind of talking about how they were switching 1 through 5. What would you kind of attribute that to? What did the first half versus second half feel like offensive flow was?
They just sped us up a little bit more in the second half, and we can't fall into that. When they sped us up, I think we started selling a little too much instead of moving the ball like we did in the first half. So, yeah, like I say, everything is an easy fix.
What was Doug's message to you guys? Did he address you in the locker room before he came over here?
Yeah. He said the same thing I said, man. A lot of stuff on us, and we'll watch the film tomorrow.
How pleased were you with because the way you guys started the game is exactly what he talks about, the defense, the physicality, making them feel you, communicating, sharing on offense. So you guys started the game pretty much exactly the way he wanted you to, didn't you?
Yeah, we definitely did. Like I said, they just sped us up in the second half, and we played into their hand, which something we can't do.
Doug, I think, I guess I'll just ask you, the way you guys started that game looked a lot like what you talked about before the game, didn't it?
Definitely. Even so, those too many turnovers in that first quarter. I think we had 5 or 6 like self-inflicted wounds. We got to make sure that we're taking care of the basketball. Can't survive getting out rebounded by 14, double up on the offensive glass. Got to find a way to box out, make sure that we're rebounding the basketball. Just the fundamental, simple things that we talk about. Scoring the basketball, we can obviously do that, but defense is where everything is going to happen at. That'll be better for them as well.
Question about the rebounding, Doug. Obviously, without Domas, best rebounder in the league, and without Keegan, who does a great job from his position as well, you guys are at a loss, and you're starting 4 guards. So, what is a workable solution, in that situation?
Well, I mean, we're just going to have to continue to look at it. A lot of teams are playing too big, so there's going to be moments where we're going to have to be big as well. But it has to be a concerted effort from everybody. We have to come back. We have to gang rebound. We got to make sure that we are hitting the boards, hitting first, making sure that we're checking people and going back and pursuing and getting the ball. I'll have to look at it, but sometimes, the ball's even bouncing. Just you can't be a step slow in that moment. We have to be the aggressor and go get the rebound.
You gave Dylan quite a bit of run there. What did you think of his minutes and just maybe the poise that he showed in his?
Dylan, obviously, one of his things is he can go get rebounds. He didn't tonight as normally he does, but he was in there fighting, and his physicality and things like that we absolutely love. I thought all 3 bigs they competed. It's just it's not on just the big. It's on other guys too to come back and make sure that they're helping out rebound. And this is a team, and you're going to see a lot of teams in the NBA now because everyone kind of copies each other that they crash 5. They're sending 5 to the board. So you got to make sure that you're boxing out. It puts an emphasis on you to make sure that you're hitting people and going to get the rebound, because essentially what you're saying is on this shot, if it's missed, it's a 50-50 ball, and who wants it the most? And you can't all of a sudden pause and look at the ball or anything. You have to hit your man and then go get the basketball.
Doug, in the third quarter, they had a 24-8 advantage in points in the paint. What did you see happening there?
I will have to go back and look at it, to be honest with you. Gortat screens, getting downhill. We just have to make sure. I mean, that's one of our emphasis is that we protect the paint. It's not a no middle, no base. It's a no paint team, and that's what we want to be. We have to have a level of physicality that is going to stand people up and stop them. And in that moment, that was not it. But I'd have to go back and look at it because in these moments you're emotional, and sometimes you say things, or even you think it's one thing and then you go back and look at it, and it's something else.
How about Neek? You decided to give him to start him tonight in his debut. Can you just talk about, kind of the journey that he's had these last couple of months here, and the things that led to your decision tonight to go ahead and start him?
I just think, first of all, his athleticism, defensive ability, that's one of the biggest things. I mean, he had 8 rebounds, so the kid, like I said, he affects the game. Tonight, he didn't score, but 8 rebounds is solid from his position. He's going to use his fouls. He's going to be physical. You can switch him off pretty much in today's game, 1 through 4 in most cases. So he had a fantastic camp, and in this particular instance, they weren't playing too big, so we had the ability to play him and switch across the board in most cases, 1 through 4.
What can you kind of take us behind the scenes with that moment where you talked to him and told him you were going to go with him tonight?
I didn't really talk to him like that. I mean, I did talk to him a little bit in front of everybody, just to let him know that we support him and we got him. But more than that, I mean, he kind of knew, because in practice he was going with the first team. You just didn't know, Jay. That's all.
What did you think of Keon's minutes? Almost 13 minutes there, 4 for 5.
Yeah, listen, Keon is a ultimate professional, and he is always ready to play. In these situations, we have a log jam, so it's going to be who's playing. But his aggressiveness and his ability to knock down shots, and his defensive ability, he's going to be on the floor. He's going to be on the floor.
DeMar, not even just the 29 points, but to me what really stood out was the 9 assists and kind of when it happened. A lot of facilitating in that first half. How much of a luxury is it to have someone that can not only score, but can also take a step back even when they're cooking and really get other guys involved?
One thing that DeMar does at a really high level is he just kind of looks at the game and lets it kind of come to him in the first half. He'll be seeing where the double team is coming from, how they're playing him, kind of examining the game, and then he's trying to find his knockout point and his ability to get to where he wants to go. And in those moments, if you take something away from him, he's a willing passer and a good teammate. So it just happens to be that he can put the ball in the bucket at a high clip.
Dennis, obviously, the 4 turnovers, but he seemed to kind of impose himself as advertised for you guys. What did you think of his minutes, that charge he was able to get later in the game as well?
Listen, Dennis is big time. I'm not really worried about him at all. I'm understanding who he is, how he approaches the game. He's aggressive. And we want him to play aggressive, because then it opens things up for everybody else, so they can sit on Zach or sit on DeMar. His ability to get downhill, reject screens, willingness to shoot the 3 ball, and then also his ability to pick up, whether it's full court, half court, put pressure on the opposing guards is huge. He's everything that I was hoping that he was going to be, and he'll be even better as he gets his legs and all the different things as we get a flow with him. But love Dennis.